Okay, this is the second war of Season 6 for 4 Loki versus WTF. I have Omega in the squad for a couple later fights. These first couple fights, they're basically like diversity fights for OGV. Node 16 with a bad matchup can be tough with some champs, but for OGV with the power reserve, pretty much any fight's pretty easy. I'll chime in at the start of some of the fights just to give like my thought process and approach to the fights and how I go about them. But for the majority, I'll just let the fights play out, so enjoy. Alright, so this next node, node 23 Masochism, it's got 80% energy resist, so in most cases I like to use OGV if I can, because the energy resist doesn't affect him as his specials do direct damage. And with OGV, you can trigger the Masochism and then place a heal block with specials, so the next Masochism you trigger actually will not heal him. And you can basically just repeat the process of triggering the Masochism and placing heal blocks throughout the fight. And that's basically the approach I try to do with OGV with any champ I fight here with him. Alright, this next fight I have a node 29 Korg, rank 5. I run magic with no dexterity. Now I just find it makes the fight easier to not use dexterity, although I don't always take dex off when fighting Korg. I do the majority of the time. For node 29 with magic, or even node 23 because of the energy resist, I run a bit of a different mastery setup where I use half suicides with max double edge and max recoil. And with magic, with max recoil, if you have max recovery in the defense tree, you'll actually heal from the recoil damage when your limbo expires. So it's actually a really good setup for tougher nodes that require more damage output. Okay, so this next node ends up being a rank 5 Killmonger. Now this node has Burden of Might and Vigor, which Vigor procs a healing every 15 seconds and every 25% intervals of the health bar. And Burden of Might, anytime you trigger a buff, you basically lose a bar of power. So OGV, being able to place heal blocks and having synthesis, typically allows you to control the fight and stop the healing without ever worrying about triggering any form of buffs. You just have the constant power there at your disposal. So I wanted to try him against this Killmonger, but this actually ended up being a lot tougher than I thought it would be. In hindsight, I probably would have used Omega for this fight now going forward, but I wanted to see how OGV fared in it. And I did get through the fight, but you'll see I take a lot of reverb in this fight. Alright, next up is the Stun Immune, Bleed, Breakthrough, yada yada. I don't know what else is on it. But it ends up being a rank 5 Medusa. Now at this point I have full suicides going with Omega Red into this fight. Basically Omega Red on any bleed node is going to shine because it keeps his death field up the entire fight. and with the full suicides, obviously you're putting out that much more damage. So yeah, let you watch Omega just destroy this Medusa. Alright, and the final fight of this war is a rank 4 Killmonger on the Node 48 mini-boss with Limber, Kinetic Reactor, Plague Mind, and I think that's it. Now, this was actually the first war I've even ever used Omega in, and partly why I didn't use him on 34 earlier and wanted to see how well OGV did. But, yeah, so I pulled him in for this Killmonger, popped an invulnerability boost because I was unsure how the fight may go. Just wanted to try and be extra safe. But yeah, I'll leave you to it. Enjoy it, and thanks for watching.